everyone, Potter Sam, welcome to another video. Today we're going to have a look through our UMP Ultimate Sanders and have a look at our full range, what they're used for, which one is which, and what is in our full product lineup. Bit of confusion sometimes over some of the sanders, how to use them, which one is which, so I'm going to run through it as quick as possible. And if you've got any questions, pop them down below in the comments and I'll try and answer them as I go through. So let's jump straight in and get started. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. Okay, so we're going to start with our sponge sanders. We have the 100-180, the white sander. We've got our 220-220, one of my most used sanders, and the 240-1200 sander. So it's 240 grit one side, 1200 the other. These are really nicely cushioned sponge sanders, so great for going around curves, fuselages, body panels, de-seaming cars, etc, etc. Very, very useful. And in amongst the range, kind of a crossover between our thinny sticks and the sponges, are our 400, 800 triple pack as well. So these are the same kind of thinness as a thinny stick, but with the width of the sponge as well. So we'll have a look at all these separately. These also come in a multi-pack and a starter pack as well, at different price points and with different sanders in each one. So this one you get one each of what we just said and a buffer as well, and in this one you just get one each of the 3 sponges and the 400, 800 as well. So have a look on the site, see which one suits you the best. So a quick overview of those. So we've got the 100-180, which is a very, very coarse sander. Like I say, nicely sponged, so it will adapt to curved areas and really does a good job at removing seams and fill marks, anything like that, any filler, because it conforms to the surface. It does a really good job of not damaging the surface at the same time as removing any necessary filler or seam lines. So a very abrasive sander, so you won't use that one all the time, but it's very handy when needed. The 220-220, one of my most used sponge sanders. Again, perfect for the job of removing seams. And the idea of our sanders is to go through the grit range, judge which one you need first. You normally start with the most abrasive, but you won't need this one all that much, to be honest. So I tend to start with the 220 and then work up to the 240 and then on to the 1200. And it's easy to tell the difference. The smoother side is 1200, the rougher side is the 240 on the back. So quite easy to spot the difference. And again, sponge, so they conform to any curved areas. And these are for the likes of doing fuselage seams, car body de-seaming, tank barrels, things like that. Anything that's curved and requires the sander to conform to that surface. And like I say, in amongst that lot is our 400, 800 wide thinny stick, I'm going to call it. And again, very, very versatile. 400 on the smoother side. 800 on the smoother side, 400 on the coarser side. So use your finger and you can literally feel the difference in those. So there are kind of sponge sanders. In use, I've got some video here of me showing it in use on a car body, and you can see how it's held. So these were designed with this shape, and I like to hold it just like that. It's perfect, and that way as your hand does a natural arc, you've almost always got a nice straight edge where it is. So very useful, works very well, and you don't need to apply a lot of pressure. Let the sander do the work. I know it's a bit of a cliche thing, but it does work, and it does a lot less damage than really pressing down on the body. You don't need to do that. Let the sander do the work, let the sponge conform to the shape, and you'll remove any excess material really quick. So there's the sponges. Then onto the thinnies. So again, very popular range of our sanders. These are our thinny stick sanders. So again, we start off with the 180 180 on these, then the 240 240. So they're double-sided. 400 400, 800 800, and 1200 1200. So 5 in this range, all different various grits and grades. And I'm going to quickly go through and show you which is which, because a few people get confused as to what they are. So again, look on the site, full range of these. These are also available in a multi-pack as well. So you get 2 of each of those sanders in there. And then we also do a starter pack as well, of which you get 1 each of those, 1 each of our thinny buffers, which we'll get to in a minute, and 1 of our thinny sponges, again, which I'll get to in a minute. So the actual sanders themselves, what is the difference? Well, blatantly obvious is the yellow and the orange. So the yellow is 400 grit, the orange is 800. So they sit there from coarseness to smoothness, is how we're going to call it. We then got the 180 thinny as well, which is obviously the coarsest. Then where the confusion arises is the 2 black ones with the white core. Now, if you look at them, they are blatantly different. So the black one is the 220, and the grayer one is the 1200. And the best way to tell is run your finger on it. One's a lot coarser than the other. This is the 220, this is the 1200. I can do it by sight, and you can also see the grit on there as well. So quite easy to tell once you know the difference. So coarser is 220, smoother is the 1200. So that is how they sit in the range. So the white thinny is the 180, the white cord thinny black is the 220, yellow is 400, orange is 800, and the white core smooth is the 1200. And again, these can be used more so on flatter areas. So if you're cleaning up the edges of a tank, the sprue points, perfect for this, because you have a little bit of give in there. It's ever so slightly sponged, if that's a word we can use. So it does give a little bit of leeway. It's also good for removing any stronger points on, say, an aircraft fuselage. If you trimmed off your sprue locator points and you've got a bit sticking up, I would use this first to get rid of most of that, then come in with the sponge sander afterwards to remove the rest of the seam. So again, they're all designed to be used in conjunction with each other, but hopefully that's cleared up the confusion of which one is which. Like I say, it's these two that cause the confusion, the 2 white cord. If you look at them, they are blatantly different. One's black, 220, coarser material on it. One is more grey and it's smoother. That is the 1200. So hopefully that clears up a little bit of the confusion. And like I say, they are available in starter packs and multi-packs as well. Moving on, we have our thinny sponges. So these are the same material as these, but they are in a thinny stick shape, just like our sanders. Now these sanders, we've had these for a long time now, coming to 8 years, and this was a design actually designed by us. Lee, my business partner, physically designed these sanders, and sadly they have been copied quite recently. These are the original. These are made in the UK. The copies are made in China, so they're not to the same standard. These are very proudly made in the United Kingdom, as our stickers say on everything. So this shape is ours. This is carried over to the thinny sponge. And again, this can be used in exactly the same way as the grey sponge sander itself. Yet because of the shape of this one, this will get in narrower areas. Any areas are a bit tighter to get into where this bigger sponge won't get into. And of course, double-ended, so you've got your larger area for slightly bigger areas, and then the small areas, getting small holes, crevices, wing roots, anywhere you need to get that angle in there. And again, beautiful sander, nicely sponged, and works really, really well. Onto our buffers. So we do a range of thinny buffers in 2 different sizes, which I'll get to in a second, and our standard buffer as well. So these are double-sided. One is a very high grit sander, and the other is a buffer. So this will get you to a nice high shine plastic. So once you've done all your sanding work, got rid of all your seams, and you're happy that everything's cleared up, and as it should be. Coming with the blue side of this and get it nicely shined up. You'll see the shine reappear. It'll just appear a little bit dull, and then hit it with this and you'll just literally see it appear to go back to perfect plastic again. So we have a closer look at these as well. So this is the standard buffer, as you can see. So this is the blue abrasive side, you can hear it, but it's very, very high grit. And then this side is completely smooth, and this is the side to get your plastic back to as new condition. So this is the last job. Go over it with the blue, and then to get a nice high shine, go over it with the white. And you might hear it squeak every now and then, which normally indicates you've done a good job, and that's where it's at. And again, we also offer these in our thinny stick as well. 2 different thicknesses. Again, these can get into hard to reach areas. You've got the highly sponged, which is basically a thinner version of the bigger one, but obviously it's got the thinner end in there to get into more narrow areas. And then we've got our much thinner one, which is about half the width. And again, this is very flexible, getting very, very hard to reach areas. And again, very, very versatile and a great addition to our range when we brought them in. So they're our buffers as well. And obviously, like I say, these are included in the starter pack of the sponges and the starter pack of the thinnies as well. So in the starter pack of the sponges, you only get the larger buffer, and in the starter pack of the thinnies, you only get the 2 thin ones, but they are in there to be used. Last but not least, we have our customizable sanders. Now, these are one of my favourites. I use these all the time. They come in 240, 400, 800 and 1200. And these are a very nice addition. So I'll run through these as to which one is which. So basically, it's a thin sheet of plastic. There's no sponge. It is literally a flat sanding surface. And again, a bit of confusion as to what's what, but if you go on the thinny stick principle, it's very easy to see which one is actually which. So in there, we have a 240, which is this one. We have a yellow 400, that's the theme across the range. We have the orange 800 and the 1200 black as well. So the white one is the 240, the yellow one is the 800, the orange one is the 800, and the black one is the 1200. Now, the beauty of these sanders and why I find them so versatile is what you can actually do with them. So because they're on hard back, they stay nice and flat, and these are perfect for any edges you need to keep flat. This is where to use these, but the beauty of these is they can be cut to any shape or size you require. If you use a sharp knife and a ruler and a bit of care, maybe just score it twice, like so, give it a snap. There you go. You've now got a customized sander to your own shape, and with that you can do any shape you wish to any size at all you wish to do. And again, it's just a couple of cuts. Make sure you're cutting the sander and not the ruler, like I just did. And again, just snap it off. Now, don't cut the back. It's a mistake a lot of people do, and I'm going to show you why now. Because if you cut the back, it cuts the plastic, but it doesn't cut the paper. So it'll end up ripping it. So when you do this, cut from the front, like so. That way you cut through the actual abrasive paper, but you've scored the plastic enough to snap it, like so. And again, look at that now. We now have a sander with a very, very fine point that we're getting some very, very tight areas. And these are very useful. And if I look at my own collection of sanders, I have these cut to all sorts of shapes. And this will get in anywhere and everywhere required. So I have a whole assortment of different shapes, and it will even go as narrow as this to get into the smallest, tightest areas. So these are very, very useful. You can literally cut it to any shape, size, circles, squares, anything, literally imagination. Just remember to cut them on the front. Go through the abrasive paper at the front and then snap it. Be very careful with the knife, you don't stab yourself or cut yourself. But these are very useful. I've got one in action here, and you can see just how useful it is on a flat edge, because there's no give in it really, because there's no sponge material in there. It keeps that nice flat edge. And again, don't press hard on the sander. Let the abrasive paper do the work, and you'll be sorted and sanded in no time at all. And again, come with your buffer afterwards to clean it up, and then hit it with the polisher to get it back to clean plastic again. Right, and so there we go. Hopefully that's helped clear up a bit of confusion, and it's become a bit more apparent as to which one is which. I know people get confused because some of the sanders do look quite similar. Once you know, it's quite apparent which one's which, and you can look at them and just know straight away. Without even touching them, I can tell from a distance which one is which, and hopefully this video has helped you now as well. If you got any questions, pop them down below and I'll try and answer them. But like I say, just be aware of some of the copies out there. Ours are proudly made in the UK. The thinny stick shape was designed by us. So just be aware of that when you buy them. Ours are proudly made in the UK, as all our stickers say on the front. So thanks for watching today. If you've got any questions, pop them down below. Make sure you sub to the channel, click the thumbs up notification, and click that bell to get notified of our latest videos. And of course, check out ISM Facebook page and forum, umpretail.com, the Live the Bench page, Off Air Hangout group, the GB page, my Paul ISM page. And if you want to support future videos, there's a Patreon me link in the description down below, as well as a PayPal me link as well. Thanks for watching today, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.